Cup playoffs, presented by Budweiser.
Picture this, you're riding on the subway, a message pops up on your mobile phone offering you a coupon for a free coffee and an apology for the inevitable delay. Sound far-fetched? Well, it's arrived in Montreal thanks to an initiative by Montreal's transit authority, the STM, and software maker SAP. Mark Aboot is the managing director of SAP Canada. We talked earlier and I asked him how this co-innovation is different from straight-up innovation.
Co-innovation is a collaborative innovation process. So people think of innovation as this nutty professor that goes in a dark room, comes out with an invention, says, ta-da, here's an invention. It never really works that way. Right? It works the way with people collaborating together, bringing information from around the world. So think about the world as flat in reverse, bringing all the innovation to Canada through this process.
And you've done this project with Montreal Transit.
Yes.
Talk about what it is that you've achieved for Montreal Transit.
So it's very cool. It's a next generation loyalty program. So it's well beyond points. It's really an interactive environment that the rider on the transit system will engage with throughout the course of their ride on the bus or subway.
This is obviously customer-centric kind of innovation.
Yes.
Who started it? Did it start with SAP? Did it start with Montreal Transit? How did it sort of come about?
Well, it's a great question, and I think both of us together is how we would answer it and how the STM would answer it. So we went to them and said, hey, what are you trying to do? And they said, look, we want to create a better experience. We want to create a compelling experience for our riders. We want to grow ridership over the next few years, so we need to create a compelling experience. So we sat down and said, let's think about what we could do. So these minds got together, again, brought all the IP from various parts of the world, including retail and other industries, and come up with this application.
And describe what it does. So a rider on Montreal Transit, what do we get from the loyalty program?
So it's really an application. So you can download it from iTunes onto your iPhone, and that application is the window into a whole interactive environment that you'll engage in throughout your trip. So maybe finding out about what's going on in the STM, schedules, stops, delays, better routes, helpful tips, the whole STM system. And then it connects all the merchants that are around the Montreal transit system. So restaurants, coffee shops, sports, entertainment. So for example, if you were downtown and you had clicked on your preferences that you were interested in arts and entertainment, if Cirque du Soleil had an offer for a show that started in an hour, they could push you that offer to you because they know it's your preference, they know you're downtown, and they know you might say yes.
So one of the things that is I think important about this is we've talked a lot about innovation. Obviously your business depends on people using data in a way that helps them do their business better, run it smarter.
Yes.
We think of that often in terms of inventory, in terms of kind of streamlining, lean process. This is service innovation, and service innovation is pretty much untouched by most people who talk about R&D and innovation, and yet it's so important. So how much more can we do in this field?
Well, if you think about it, engaging your customers is a way to create loyalty. Whether you push offers, create points, creating loyalty is very important to companies, right? And you're going to do that not by back office systems necessarily, although you need some of those to keep the lights on, the business running, but you need ways of creating an experience for your customer, right? Like the STM have done and other companies are doing.
So when you think about kind of the potential for using information, some people would say, you know, is it intrusive? Do I really want to suddenly feel like Cirque du Soleil knows that I'm 10 minutes away? How do you respond to that? Or are we just migrating to a place where you don't think that's going to be a factor for people?
Well, if you use the STM as an example, so you voluntarily download the application, you select your preferences, and you decide what information you want pushed to you. So it's entirely in the control of the individual. Yet what you have is an individual experience for each person riding the transit system. So the individual's rights are protected because they choose, but then they get customized service throughout their experience.
And is there kind of a feedback loop? So as I use it, does it learn more about me and give me different preferences as we go along? Does it get smarter about what I like?
It does. It's like typing on your iPad or your iPhone where it starts to guess the words you use a lot.
Yeah.
It'll start to guess the things you do a lot. So the idea is to push things to you that you are definitely interested in, not en masse.
So one of the things that we face in the world, but businesses definitely are going to deal with it, is this whole question of big data. There's so much information. How you bring it together is really the key.
Yes.
Is co-innovation, I mean, is this the answer? This is how we get it right?
Yeah, so in this system, for example, you've got to manage big data. It's sort of the heart of it. Because if you think about it, you know, the information has a very short shelf life.
Right.
So, for example, you went to Google and did a Google search. You don't want that information 15 minutes later. If you don't get it right then, it's no good. It's the same on the subway system for Montreal. If you're looking for a coffee shop, you need it right there. So it's managing big data, if you think about it, because there's a lot of information about a lot of people, and you got to push those offers to the right person at the right place at the right time. And that's managing big data.
So one of the ways that this is going to be successful is if our infrastructure can keep up. Montreal is a good example of a place with poor infrastructure.
Yes, it is.
Is our e-infrastructure ready for all of this?
Absolutely. The building blocks are there. All the things that the S team are doing are off the shelf. All the software, all the products, all off the shelf. It's the creativity. It's the ideas that make it unique.
All right, we're going to leave it there. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Up after the break. The band may be over, but the memory lingers on. It's our Prices